I heard recording in progress.
I was like, never again will this happen for the rest of my life where I don't hit record. Oh man, but I really appreciate you coming back. Thank you
Of
so
course.
much. Thank
Oh
you.
yeah.
So it's kind of like a redo, but just to get started, thank you so much again. Nate, you've done so much amazing work, and I've read some of the, since that time period, I've read some of your work. So thank you so much for all the incredible work that you've been doing. And to get started with Cheetara Worldbreaker, if you were to sum it up in a couple of sentences, what is Cheetara Worldbreaker?
Uh, it's I'd say it's the post-wedding gift to myself. I recently got married, and there were a lot of logistics and thought that I never even really considered before I got into the process, and but really found myself like being interested in it and enjoying it, and then enjoying the day, and also some other things happened during the day, and uh, upon reflection of it, I just sort of realized like, oh, I think I have a story here.
Yeah.
I think that there's something, and I was planning a lot of the ThunderCats stuff at the time, and talking to Declan Shalvey, the main
Mhm.
ThunderCats writer, and Ed Brisson, the ThunderCats Lost and Silverhawks writer, and uh, and as I was like conjuring up this idea, I started to sort of pitch it to them, and then pretty shortly thereafter, we realized Declan actually kind of realized like it feels like that's something very personal to you that maybe
Right.
you should write. So I kind of took it on myself to do it, and I don't write a ton because
Yeah.
just because I'm very busy with editing and stuff, and writing is very hard for me because I care probably too much. But yeah, I it's just a very this is the worst two sentence description of what this thing is.
It's
But
great. It's great.
but yeah, it's a very personal story. It's a personal idea of Chitara's relationship to pomp and circumstance,
Mm,
and being around people while also holding a secret back, which is her connection to the sixth sense
I see.
and what
Right.
that means. So
Right.
yeah, that's it's a prequel in a sense, and yeah, it reveals some things that we've never really dealt with in Thundercats lore before.
I love it. I love it. And congratulations again.
Oh, thanks.
Because I heard that little snippet, right? It's a gift. It's a gift, like a post
Yeah.
gift for marriage. So that's amazing. And speaking about Chitara and the depth that you're putting into her, what kind of emotion is she going through Worldbreaker? If you can give us a little insight into her mentality and psychology at the time.
Yeah, she's processing, like she's a highly efficient person. And she's a runner, which I run. I'm in month two of my marathon ramp up for January. So I
Woo!
can
Woo!
that very much relates to what she's going through as well. But where it becomes like you have all of this energy and you're building towards this thing, but it's also very difficult in the moment. You want to be
Right.
present. You want to be simultaneously present with what you're doing, but also you've got to kind of zone out to be able to get all of those miles in. And so that's to me, that applies to what Chitara is going through, which is she is a warrior, she is a trainer, she is a religious person. She
Yeah.
believes in what the Book of Omens teaches and
Right.
Jaga and what Jaga is leading her towards. At the same time, she's also developing young Lion-O into
Hmm.
becoming a great leader, and then she's got her own personal life. She's dealing with her fiance, her betrothed Bengali, but
Hmm.
she's also potentially got some feelings for this dude Tigra. So
Right.
it's and all of that, and she's got the sixth sense that she's got these voices that are telling her what
Yeah.
is happening in the future and the past, and what to do. And so her answer to that a lot of times is, I'm going to go for a run. So
Yeah.
we're getting her at a time when she is processing stuff, when she's really trying to do her best. She's highly functional, but it's like, towards what? For
Right.
what? What am I functioning towards?
Right.
So that's where we find her.
Oh no, I love that. And I love what you just said about going for a run. She goes for a run to kind of like process some of these emotions because I relate as someone, even though I'm not a long distance runner, I love to just feel the wind, you know,
Yeah.
as I'm just flowing and getting burnt out, but having going into that flow state and letting any kind of stressors just kind of like leave you a little bit. So I resonate with that in terms of
Mm.
like Chitara. And how does she connect? How do you I would say, how do you resonate with her? Because I heard you mention that you run too. So
Mm.
how does the character Chitara resonate with you on a personal level?
I just, I think that there's that idea. I don't think I'm unique in the sense that like everybody feels that they have some kind of secret that they're holding back, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
you're in a group of people, and there's one thing that whatever either you're holding back because you have a surprise to tell someone, or there's some gossip that you don't want to talk about in front of a certain other person, or
right.
you're embarrassed by something that happened that you're trying to swallow down. Like everybody's got that little thing that they want to hold back,
Mhm.
and so I tried to take that idea with her and then with the running thing, the idea of like wanting to let off steam
Yeah,
sometimes and like not allow yourself to displace your emotions into certain places because she's got to be a lot of different things to a lot of different people and she seems perfect all the time,
right.
but no one is perfect all the
No,
time.
no.
And so as she's going through that, I relate to that. And then, for me, I think I'm a pretty empathetic, empathic kind of person. I relate. I think about what people are going through a lot of times. And so I also try to imbue that into the story of this thing of like, she's dealing with her thing, but at the same time, she looks out and sees that other people need help. And what's the best way for her to do that? So yeah, that's those are the different ways that I can kind of relate to that. She's a very giving kind of person. She
Right,
wants to
right.
help people be the best versions they can be of themselves.
Oh, and speaking about that,
Mm.
especially when if this is more of a isolated story, would you say?
Mhm.
And since it's an isolated story, it seems like that she's going through her own odyssey of sorts. Now,
Mm.
does she have any impact on other characters? And does that kind of, because I was reading a little synopsis that said that this is part of the past, the present, and also the future. Do we see
Yeah.
any impact on other Thundercats within future without giving too much, of course?
Yeah, well, the story is meant to be standalone. It's
Right.
designed to be sort of a bottle episode. It takes place on one day, in one day, from when she wakes up to basically when she goes to sleep, and then we go around the entire universe in in a day. But sort of the idea is that while you do not need to know very much at all coming into this, and you would not necessarily like we don't end on a cliffhanger, things happen inside this bottle episode that will become very important soon.
Ah, okay.
So if you are someone that has been following every issue so far, and you know a lot about the Thundercats original series and things like that, you will recognize a lot of things that came from the show, that came from the continuity of the modern series, but then are also turning them just a little bit to let you
Right.
know that there's a slightly different direction, and that Chitara's relationship with the Sixth Sense is not exactly. It is everything that you've seen before, but it is a little bit more. And I think some of that comes from like uh, a place of curiosity,
Ah,
a place of realizing like, oh, you don't just take this at face value.
right.
There's more going on here
Right.
than has previously been revealed.
Now, in speaking about Chitara's sixth sense, does her abilities to use the sixth sense, does it evolve in some way, or does she gain any level of mastery, or is it more or less that she's just not too sure how she's feeling about it?
Yeah, at the time, on Thundera, we're a decade or so before the events of Declan's modern series. It is something that she does not have mastery over. It's like
Okay.
it's something that she's scared to share with people, that she's scared to face on her own, because
Mhm.
it's these scary visions of like the planet exploding and
Right.
giant wars and things like that. She doesn't know how to deal with it. She doesn't know like if it's something that's happened or something that she's conjuring up on her own. And so she doesn't really know. We've not
Mhm.
really seen her anywhere like feeling a full-on mastery of the sixth sense.
Right.
It's always been kind of a flowing relationship, a negotiable kind of relationship, and she's always sort of felt like, oh, she doesn't think of herself as a victim, but she certainly has a like why me? Like
Right.
why am I the one that's burdened with this, or why am I being told this? And part of what we're going to see is that she's not the only one. Like
Hmm.
she's very special, but she's not the only special person
Okay.
that has a relationship with the sixth sense.
Now, does this lead into brand new characters who give us mentor, give her, I said give us, give her mentorship, or is it characters that we've already seen before?
So there's going to be new characters. There's one new character in particular who kind of I don't I mostly when I write I write creator owned kind of stuff. So
Uh-huh.
I don't and I don't try to add I don't try to build too much extra infrastructure for established continuity, but there's a new character and I really love her. I would recommend anybody that wants to have a little bit of extra understanding of this character should watch Gosford Park.
Ah,
I don't think it's much of a spoiler, but you will recognize the personality of a particular character in that movie, and that's what I've brought to this extra character. And I'll you asked about mentorship, but I would say that not everyone is meant to teach.
mm,
Not everyone, just because you have a skill or just because you have an aptitude does not mean that you feel an obligation or a responsibility to pass that on to others. And I find that kind of dynamic with someone that is eager to learn interesting, because
okay.
it's like you have insight, you have secrets. Can you tell me? No.
Right, 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 right,
Okay, so now what? It's like I still have questions. Like, yeah, and I have answers, and I don't want to give them to you. I don't want to talk about it. So
right.
there's I have a tendency when I write to I hear dialogue first. I hear characters speaking first, and what usually comes right after is when I hear a character speaking, I need to hear what it sounds like for that character to speak to someone else, and so you have to build an antagonist. And
Mm,
so I'm very I was very happy that the antagonist of this story came to me pretty quickly and pretty fully formed. She has a lot of baggage that she doesn't want to talk about or talk towards. So I find characters that don't want to talk about themselves very interesting when they have to talk.
right,
So
right.
yeah,
Oh, I love that. Oh man, I'm glad we did a
yeah.
round two. No, that sounds really great because now I'm excited to read it even more, to kind of get a chance to know about the new character because I'm really immersed into the lore, and you all have built a, a world upon worlds. Like the universe is expanding so much, and it's not as if you all have like redone things in a way. You're going into, I guess, just just stories that we just never heard about, right?
Yeah, yeah.
What's happening on what happened before the fall of New Thundera, and it's just really exciting. So that's I just wanted to get that out because it's like I'm putting together the pieces as you're talking, and I'm like, damn, like this is a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, we wanted to be respectful of what came before. It's
Right.
like like Declan and Ed and myself and a lot of the artists, like we love this stuff. Like
Yeah.
I personally am still not forgiven my mom for giving away all my ThunderCats toys at a yard sale in Memphis, Tennessee when I was like 6 years old. It's very
Right.
difficult to get over that. With time, I will forgive her. But no, we're not looking to we're not looking to reinvent the wheel with this
Yeah.
continuity. Can we expand the wheel? Can we streamline the wheel?
Yes.
Can we give the
Yes.
wheel a new coat of paint? That kind of thing. We're not trying to do an Elseworlds or a What If with ThunderCats. We want this to feel of a piece with what people loved before,
Right.
and then imbue it with a little more. I mean, let's call it like like if the show was aiming for a younger demographic, we want to bring a slightly more like adult sophistication to the dynamics of the storytelling and the relationships, so
Right.
that's, and just be interested, like just not be afraid to like scratch and keep scratching the surface of like,
Mhm.
oh, well, okay, so we saw that, but what does that mean? Like, what would that look like if if you did that? So, yeah.
No, and I think that you all are definitely scratching scratching that itch when it comes to,
We're trying.
nostalgic. No, you
Mhm.
all are, and it's absolutely amazing. So, and then, when it comes to, I know this is a standalone. Do you see yourself writing more standalones in the future? You did speak about that you want to put all of your effort into writing, but you want to make sure that it's worth reading, right? As you mentioned
Yeah.
before. Would you consider doing more standalones?
I mean, I'm very lucky to have the contact info of dozens and dozens of really talented writers,
Hmm,
and I edit a dozen or so books a month,
a lot.
and so it's a lot, and so I like to write, but like I've got to really have an idea. I've got to really care. I've really got to have a personal slant to it in order to do it. So, I mean, I'm open to it if the right story presents itself, as this one did. Like
Yeah.
I was not looking for like, oh, what should I write? It's like there was just this one thing that kind of came to me, and luckily, I'll shout out Greg Pak here, who I worked with a really long time. He was the one that came up with the term world breaker back in the day when we worked together on Planet Hulk. Uh,
Ah,
when Hulk went to Sakaar, when the
yeah,
Illuminati shot him off, there was, at some points it wasn't the official term, but he was sort of seen as the world breaker.
right.
And so that was a term that when I thought of that, because I'm working with Greg on a new Supernatural series. I don't know if you
Ooh,
saw the news announcements, but yeah, I just kind of, that kind of came to mind, and then I thought of what that term means, and that it works on a few different levels for the story I'm telling. It's about potential and responsibility,
mm,
and how it's so simple to take your abilities and turn them towards one way, and or turn them towards another way, and they can have they can have drastic results depending on what you want to do. So yeah, I the answer is, maybe that I
right.
have a couple other things that are not announced that I'm writing that are not Thundercats, but just because again, it was just like, oh, well, like, well, okay, well, yes, I have this, it's fully filled.
Yeah,
But yeah, I love Chitara in particular, and I love a few of the other Thundercats as well. So if there's a way for me to fit in my story that I really care about, but I told you last time, it's like writing hurts me. It can be very, that
right.
blank page just sounds like white noise to me a lot
Mm,
of times. So and my checklist of things to do editorially just like starts to hum in my head, is like, you need to hurry up and finish this. So
ah.
yeah,
I feel that pressure. I feel that pressure.
yeah.
But you're doing absolutely amazing.
Well,
And
thanks.
if I have a question, this one kind of like seds way. It's just like just fan questions, right?
Hmm.
Who's your favorite Thundercat?
Ah, man, my favorite Thundercat. I mean, what the kid version is Lion-O, right?
Right.
And I think in a lot of ways, I love Lion-O because he's a boy out of time,
Yeah.
essentially. It's like from a young age he was told that he was going to be developed to be the leader, but he then like gets supersized on the
Right.
way to a new world, and suddenly everybody is literally looking up to him, at this giant man who is a child
Right.
and doesn't really know what he's doing. So that was, as a kid, like that's wish fulfillment, of course. That's
Right.
that idea of like,
Mhm.
oh, I can just grab a sword and a claw, and I'm grown up, it's fine. But now I'll be honest, and I don't want to give away too much of why, but like, Jaga is my favorite Thundercat,
Ah,
I think, because there's secrets,
yeah.
there's some stuff. Why is he a ghost?
Right.
Like, and
Yeah.
why aren't we seeing a lot of other ghosts? And what did he do? And how much did Cloudus listen to him? And how much was Jaga's idea for a lot of things, and there's just some stuff that that Declan and I talked about at the very early beginnings of when we were developing stuff. I just kept thinking about Jaga and just like,
Mm,
well, who is this guy? What
right,
is this? It's like, why is
right.
he watching? So yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
I
and
really.
that's getting my spark, like thinking, like, hopefully you all decide to do
Oh,
a
it's
little.
coming. Oh,
Okay,
Jaga's coming. Yeah,
all right.
he's gonna. To me, it's like he's gonna. People are gonna have questions, and he may, he's a ghost, so we don't know if he'll have to answer them. He may just be able to like, zoom out of there. But
Right.
I am determined, just like to hold his feet to the fire in a way. Yeah.
Nice. I can't wait for that because I'm seeing like a solo Pumaira's solo comic that's
Hmm.
coming out too, and I'm like, Jaga sounds like he would be great too. And I
Well,
can't.
that's the cool thing where it's like, we started there's a bunch of team books that we're dealing with, ThunderCats, and then ThunderCats Lost, and then Silverhawks is also, generally within that same range of books.
Mhm.
But they're all team books,
Right.
and everybody gets, there's obviously the team leaders and stuff like that, but one of the things that we just, Chitara Worldbreaker and then the Pumra as well, it's like, well, what what do these characters look like when they're on their own, or how did they
Mm,
develop into who they are?
right.
That not every one of these is going to be a prequel. Not every one of these is going to be like an origin story,
Right.
because I think origin stories are a little overdone. But I just always find it interesting just to see what a character looks like when they don't have the team dynamic, when the group is not around them, and they don't have
Right.
to function as part of a whole. When they are the whole, what is that?
Right.
So
I
yeah,
love that. I love that. No, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to Cheetara. She's been always my favorite because of running, right? Super speed
yeah.
has always been my thing, and I cannot wait to read it because the way you explained it, it seems like she's the crux of her psychological state is all over the place, but
Hmm.
at the same time, she is holding everything together. Being a soldier,
Yeah.
you're holding all of these thoughts in your head, but for someone who isn't centered, isn't grounded, you can feel like you're going to explode. And it seems like she has that feeling, but she's still holding on to everything. So her
Hmm.
world is kind of breaking. This is just my thought in my head, but
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
but
You're
she's
not
holding
wrong.
everything together, and it's absolutely amazing. And I want to say I thank you for just doing a round two of this.
No, that's okay. All right, and I did just want to see, like, I'm excited to show people what it's going to look like for David Cousins to draw this idea, because David Cousins, he's done some interior stuff before, but
Uh-huh.
my relationship with him, I saw some great stuff online. I brought him in to do several different covers, but this is going to be his first interior work.
Really?
For I believe for Dynamite, but definitely for the Thundercats world, and he was my first choice of like, I want to see, because there's something about specifically about his stuff where even his characters that are standing still
Uh-huh.
feel like they have an energy to them, and
Ooh.
that was what was important for Chitara, where it's like she is always wanting to move. She is not good at
Right.
holding still. Like, it's
Right.
everything should be on the run. She's got to go. And David's energy is like that for me. So I'm excited. I'm excited for people to see what he comes up with.
Oh, I'm excited to see it too. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. And
Yeah.
if you want to send anything early in advance, feel free.
I'll shoot it over. I'll shoot it over when we have
I'm
time.
kidding. I'm kidding. I'm
Yeah,
all about supporting it, and I'm ready to go to my local comic book store to buy
appreciate it.
Cheetara World Breaker. So, Nate Cosby, thank you so much. I appreciate you. This has been not only experience, but a privilege for me to be able
Oh,
to talk to you on two occasions as of today. So, thank you so much for coming in.
yeah, man.
If reach out if you ever need me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'll talk to you next week.
Yeah, we
So,
do a weekly podcast.
yeah, chat and Chitara.
No, but thank you so much. I appreciate you, and congratulations again.
Oh,
Um,
thank you.
and have the most amazing rest of your week.
You as well, Andre. Thank
All
you.
right, take care.